Oh Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry about all those tech difficulties today. I came to my computer and immediately it decided to do an update. And then once it did an update, I had a little problem. Once I got in, you saw I had a problem with my camera. So I think we're okay now. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Kila aam wa antum bikhair. It's so nice to be with you here in Ramadan. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah. So welcome to our Ramadan Khitma project open halaqa. This is in Ramadan. What we usually do is we gather together to make dua and talk about together and talk about the Quran a little bit. So we have two of these in this month. One is today and the last one is at the end of the month when we'll close out the month with the rest of our khitmas. I believe up until now, somebody, one of my admins could please get me the exact number, but I saw yesterday, I think we had, okay, there we go. Thank you. We have actually already 25 khitmas. So 25 khatam, depending on how you say it, 25 Quran completions that people have registered. I think that's wonderful for the 15th of Ramadan. It's a great, great blessing, alhamdulillah. And certainly by the end of the month, we'll have even more. So we're going to make dua together about to bring in, to help us to all benefit from the blessing of these readings. But before we do, I want to just talk a little bit about the Quran in Ramadan and just Ramadan in general. So this Ramadan for many people has been really tough. I've heard from many people that no one has, without complaining, alhamdulillah, but just the long days and the short nights that people are struggling to accomplish what they feel like they need to accomplish, to complete what they need to complete, to take advantage, I guess, of Ramadan in the way that in their mind's eye they want to, and they feel the pull to, but they're just not feeling that they're getting it all in. And so I do want to mention about Ramadan that it's a month, this is the month of blessing that happens to us even when it's tough. So we don't have to enjoy fasting for fasting to have an effect on us. We don't have to enjoy the lack of sleep for the extra prayers to have an effect on us. Ramadan is a month of worship and closeness and change of our very internal self. I've written elsewhere about how Ramadan is a school and each week is a different level. And certainly now we're in, let's see, day 17. So we are in the third week. We're in the third week. And in the article that I wrote in, I think it's in Imam Online or something like that, we talk about the idea that it's sort of like being a junior now. And if you remember being a junior in college or a junior in high school even, that's a really tough year. And it being difficult should not dissuade you or disappoint you or make you feel like you're not doing Ramadan right. I think that's what I want to say. We talk much about the beauty of Ramadan and it's there for everyone. And I hope that everyone is feeling that. For those of you who are feeling that Ramadan is difficult this year or that you're struggling, know that you're still benefiting from Ramadan. Know that your reward is great, that Ramadan is still your friend, and that Ramadan is growing you. Ramadan is graduating you. And your goal is to not give up, to hold on to those days of fasting, to the nights of prayer, to do your best in both. And of course, to take care of yourself when you can. So the Prophet ﷺ said that the sleep of the fasting person is worship. How beautiful is that? So when you are able to take a nap, and you do, you shouldn't feel guilty. You should feel, alhamdulillah, I'm doing I'm doing a new ibadah in Ramadan. I am adding to my list of types of worship in Ramadan. And so I encourage you to sleep when you can. I encourage you to take care of your physical selves as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is helping you take care of your spiritual self. Now, that being said, we are at the 17th of Ramadan, and so looking ahead, tonight will be the 17th. This is 16th today. And so looking ahead, the days are limited, and we do want to take advantage of them as much as possible. So if you have not gotten the Quran finished yet, if you have not started even your Khitma, if you're really behind, I want to encourage you to pick up the Quran in this month and really do whatever you can. Don't be a person whose perfectionism stops them from doing good deeds. So if you are a person who is a perfectionist, you may say to yourself, oh, it's already the 16th of Ramadan. I'm not going to pick up and start my Khitma now. There's no way I'm going to finish it. Well, first of all, inshallah, you will finish it. But second of all, do what you can, because this is Shahr Ramadan. This is Shahr al-Quran. Shahr Ramadan is the Shahr al-Quran. The month of Ramadan is the month of Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that Shahr Ramadan الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. It's the month where the Quran came down. هدى للناس. Huda is guidance. وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. These are really important words as we face an age and a time when so much comes together to try to cause doubt, whether it's social media or family or academia or just social life or wherever you are, that is trying to cause doubt in faith, period. Just faith, period. We live in a time when being a believer is out of fashion. Even as a Muslim, it can be a challenge to be really serious about your faith. People like to push back and say, oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That oh, come on statement. The oh, come on is, no, you come on. No, you come on. This is Ramadan, and we want to do our very best to increase our faith, and one of the ways is with Quran. We know that our early scholars used to use this month for their growth. They used to use this month. In fact, a lot of the early scholars, they wouldn't teach at all. They wouldn't see people at all. They would close their doors and turn into themselves. And this is one of the hardships of being a faith leader, a Muslim faith leader in Ramadan, in this day and age, that you're faced with the question of, do I do that, which sounds lovely, or do I recognize that Ramadan is the month when the futuhat, the openings in people's hearts are there, and we are in an emergency of faith in this world. So my duty is to be reaching out. And so for me, for example, that's why I pray every night at daybreak, Taraweeh, and that's why we do the Khatam Quran every day in daybreak, and that's why we do the live streams, because it feels too selfish to stand away. But our early scholars in Ramadan would soak themselves in the Quran. Imam Malik would read 60 khitmas himself. Imam Shafi'i would read one in the day and one at night, which is also 60. Both of these great scholars would read the whole Quran twice a day. It's just amazing. It's just amazing to think about that. And to think about what that meant for their hearts and the scrubbing and washing of their heart and their coming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that month. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of course, Angel Jibreel would come to him every Ramadan and review the Quran with him, and in the last Ramadan twice. And so it has become the habit of us to finish the Quran, and also we come to the end of the Quran with an answered dua. okay, I see your comment there about, oops, yes, don't, again, I'm going to return to the idea of if you read very slowly and you read only 20 pages this month or 30, one every day, oh, but now, this is a blessing. This is more than you read last year. This is more than you read last month. This is just more than you read. And so we need to focus on what we can do, pushing ourselves a little bit and not quitting. And not quitting. And not quitting, inshallah. The Prophet ﷺ tells us, اقرأوا القرآن. So this is an order. Read or recite Quran. فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة, because it comes to you, for you or to you, on the day of judgment. On the day of شفيعا لأصحابه. It comes to us on the day of judgment as an intercessor to its companions. So our goal is to become a companion of the Quran. And when I want to think about that word intercessor, because we don't really use this word much anymore. It comes as your lawyer, if you will. If you, God forbid, had to go to court and you were innocent or even guilty, you would want to have a really good lawyer to defend you. And the Quran will come as your lawyer. The Quran will come as the one who stands up for you. That's what that means, to intercede. The one to stand up for you. The one who is your wasta, we used to say in Arabic when I lived in Syria. The one who you know, right? So you remember, like if you're at work or you want to get something done with the city, you need to know someone. Right, so if you know someone, then you can go bypass the different little avenues and get connected, right? And the Quran is like that. The Quran connects you and defends you and stands up for you. So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Iqra'ul Quran," read it, recite it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your skill level. So if you are a native Arabic speaker who knows how to read Quran, and you've left the Quran, or you're not really picking it up, that's different than if you are a person who barely reads Arabic and you're struggling to read. So if both of these two people finish 15 pages in the month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows which one was lazy, or assuming they both had the same amount of time, which one was lazy and which one was working hard. So, and I see some mention in the chat box about physical illnesses getting in the way and fatigue getting in the way and these kinds of issues. And subhanAllah, again, Allah knows. Habibi Ya Rab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our situation. It is up to us in Ramadan to come to the Quran with an open heart, to come with a trying attitude. I'm going to try, I'm not going to give up. Even though now it's past the second half, and if I haven't started yet, I'm going to start. And if I started and quit, I'm going to continue. And if I feel like I can't finish it, I'm going to start anyway. And if I plan to finish, let's say one of you had planned to finish the Quran 5 times, and you haven't yet finished it once, don't give up. Don't give up, and see if you can finish it 3 times. See if you can set aside time, especially for the Quran. The Quran itself is the fuel to keep going in this upcoming year. And I do want to say that it's in Arabic that it really makes a difference to your heart. And for those of you now who can't read Arabic at all, because I know there are those who cannot, I really recommend that you do a quick class. So in my Quran story, when I first became a Muslim in 1985, there wasn't any Google, there weren't any online classes, and I lived in Minnesota, so it was not easy to find Arabic classes. There was an ISNA convention in September 1985 that I went to, and they were selling a little box of cassette tapes. Those of you who are young might not know what a cassette tape is, but it's something that you put into a tape recorder and you listen to. And along with the cassette tapes was a little book and you just learned the letters. And that's That's how I learned how to read, from cassette tapes and a book. And from there, the summer of 1980, let me see, then so that's how I learned, and I started practicing there, and I didn't take my first Arabic class until the summer of 1988, when I was able to take one class. So the options are available now. And actually, I believe this, and yes, this summer we're offering an Arabic level 0 class through Rabata. We don't offer our regular Rabata classes in the summer, but we do offer some Arabic classes. And the Rabata level 0 is for you if you can't read it all. And that way, this month of Ramadan, you can make your intention, if you don't read it all, that next year, inshallah, you're going to be able to read the Quran, even if it's slow. So I highly recommend you do sign up for that class or another one like it. This month, in your recitation of the Quran, in our recitation of the Quran at daybreak, where we've been doing it every night, every day, every evening, and then every night in the Tarawih prayer, I've been struck by the relevance of each juz' for each day. And I mean, that may just be a personal experience, and it also may be part of the miracle of Quran, that it always speaks to you where you are. That's why it's a book that we can read again and again and again and again, unlike any other book. You can read it. Imagine that Imam Shafi'i read it 60 times a month in Ramadan and 30 times in the other months. So how many times is that in the year? 30 times 11? Somebody? Plus 60? Fasting brain? I mean, I can figure it out. So that's what, 3,360. Is that right? Times of reading the Quran a year? No. That's wrong. 390, I think. 390 times read the Quran. 390 times in the year. So the Prophet ﷺ would read the Quran, Imam Shafi'i would read the Quran 390 times in the year, and he never got bored. Never. Each time he found something new, something that moved him, something that spoke to him. And so the Quran is the unending lesson from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unending. It never ends. The last thing I'll say about this, and we'll go to dua, is that it's very important on this road to have guides. It helps protect us from our nafs. It helps protect us from walking on a road that is going to take us astray, God forbid. And the Quran, in absence, if you can't find a guide, a person that you trust, if you can't find someone that you can really work with, the Quran is always your guide. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, even if you have your own personal teacher, the Quran remains your guide. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to your ability to read it, your ability to hold it, how your heart feels with it, to know where you are spiritually. Let the Quran speak to you, both in its words and in its opportunities. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you on the road of memorizing. We need today to bring back memorization of the Quran. Unfortunately, it is really going out of fashion, and we need to bring it back there, especially for women. Women need to be memorizing the Quran. One of the dua I'm making every night after Taraweeh is, Ya Allah, let us memorize the entire Quran as we have memorized the Fatiha. And I think that's an important dua, one that we will make now too, while we are together.
Bismillah, 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 Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. 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 Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah. لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الله أكبر الحمد 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 لله رب العالمين. بسم الله بسم الله الله بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الله أكبر الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين. 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 بسم الله بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين. 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 بسم الله الله أكبر 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله بسم الله الله بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الله أكبر الله أكبر. بسم الله الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين. 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 بسم الله بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله